Hi skiers, I'm Jeff. This is Mike.
Hey.
Mike's the customer service manager at Skiessentials.com. We're here taking some runs. Mike's on the Rustler 10 from Blizzard. Mike, you've been skiing them quite a bit. You started skiing them last year, right?
I did. I got a little early release on it, and they're great. Do it all really, really well.
So, Mike, I got a question for you.
Yeah, let's hear it.
You skied the Bonafide before.
Yes.
How do you think this is different than the Bonafide?
It's a lot more user-friendly. You don't have to work as hard like every single run, which I welcome for sure.
Yeah.
Just got a little tired of having to be on it like every single run, you know?
Yeah.
It's much more forgiving, and it's got an awesome sweet spot and the power underfoot when you need it, for sure.
Awesome. Yeah, I saw you, like our first run today, we skied some like chundery wind buff stuff. But it looked pretty stable through that.
Yeah, it's there. You know that the tight little band going up into the tip and the tail, it gives you what you need underfoot, but then it's super forgiving and the soft snow, it's awesome.
And we just skied like 2 feet of powder. Pretty good float.
Yeah, they float unbelievable. 102 underfoot, and it's really all you need if you want
for
it.
102, I thought it looked like it was floating really, really well.
And don't be afraid, over 100 it carves really well. It's nice.
It does.
It's sweet.
Surprising.
Holds an edge great.
All right, well, it's pretty cold here. It's like 5 degrees, so we're going to keep skiing.
And the snow's deep, so
we'll finish
peace out.
this review back at the Ski Essentials office. And yeah, let us know if you have any questions about the Rustler 10. See you guys on the slopes.
See ya.
Hi skiers, I'm Jeff from Skiessentials.com. I'm back here at the office. Mike is still out skiing. He's out enjoying all the snow that we've gotten in the past few days. Definitely a great start to the season here in Vermont. And it gave us a great time to test the Rustler 10. Kind of what this ski is intended for. It's definitely, it leans a little bit more towards the soft snow use than, say, a ski like the Bonafide, which I brought up here for comparison. But yeah, before we kind of talk about where it fits into the line, let's talk a little bit more about performance because we have skied it in quite a few different snow conditions over the past few days. So it's been snowing here for like 3 days total. The first day we were out skiing what was pretty much, a small powder day. It was about 5 to 6 inches of snow, lots of wind, so we got some big pockets. The Rustler 10 does really, really, really well in conditions like that. And it was great testing because, it's still kind of firm and variable underneath. And this ski does really, really well. Talk a little bit about construction and how it kind of affects performance. So this uses carbon flip core DRT. So as opposed to the Bonafide, which has 2 sheets of metal, this has a single sheet of metal, which if you can see, you can actually visibly see in the top sheet tapers as it reaches the tips and the tails. So it ends right there. And basically what that does is it gives you pretty supple and soft tips and tails, but still a nice stable ski underfoot, and pretty good damping properties out of that ski as well. There is carbon in the tips and the tails, so it gives it some longitudinal support, and that carbon, it doesn't give the same torsional stiffness as metal, so it allows you to enter a turn a little easier. So when we're skiing soft snow on a ski like the Rustler 10 compared to the Bonafide, a little bit easier to engage that turn in soft snow conditions. The tip's got quite a bit of rocker in it, and the tail actually does too. But the tip, as soon as you tip it and start entering into a turn, basically this tip is already in the shape that you want it to be to make a nice turn in soft snow. You don't have to decamber it like you do on a ski like the Bonafide. So, when we're skiing a little, like 6 inches of snow with some variable stuff underneath, it enters the turn really easily in that soft snow. The metal underfoot then gives you some stability and kind of a little bit of confidence when you do break through to that firm layer underneath. The ski feels solid. Then the tail rocker in the ski allows you to release that tail edge really easily and get the ski to pivot. So it's a very confidence-inspiring ski, especially around here in Stowe in tight terrain. Pretty easy to get it to move back and forth. I think in the footage you'll be able to see Mike making a lot of quick turns on it. And for a ski that's 102 underfoot and there is metal on it, that's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive how quick it is. Today we were out there. It's kind of the end of the storm, and we were skiing some kind of wind-buffed snow. And this thing was cutting through it really well. You know, this type of snow almost requires, well, not requires, but would like to be skied with a Bonafide. You know, that powerful feel and really cutting through the snow. But the Rustler 10 does really, really well. You know, that once again, that metal underfoot comes into play. It holds an edge really well. Mike mentioned in the start of the video that it actually carves a turn really well. Despite it being so rockered, it does. It carves a turn impressively well. So where does the Rustler 10 fit into the Bonafide, or the Blizzard collection? You know, if you talk to Blizzard directly about it, they're trying really hard to understand all different types of skiers and create products that are specific for each type of skier. The Bonafide is a specific type of skier. It's someone that wants 2 sheets of metal. They want a powerful ski. You know, the Bonafide does really, really well on groomers and other firm snow conditions. It finishes a turn with a ton of power. There's not much tail rocker in it. You know, that stiff tail, almost inspired by a carving ski. And you know, there is that skier. There is a lot of people out there that's what they want. They want the ultimate in stability and power and a super damp, quiet ski that they can just charge on. And then there's a whole nother segment of skiers, which Mike kind of talked about. He kind of transitioned from being a Bonafide skier to now really enjoying his Rustler 10. You don't have to get up and charge on it nearly as much. It's definitely more user-friendly, like Mike was saying. It's definitely more forgiving. It's way more maneuverable and a lot easier to ski when you do get into kind of variable conditions and tight terrain. So, you know, I think between the Bonafide's 98 underfoot, the Rustler 10 is 102 underfoot, so they're really similar in waist width. They're even similar in turn radius, but 2 different skiers here. Maybe you have a little bit more groomer bias, or maybe you live somewhere that doesn't get a ton of soft snow, but you still want that 100 waist width. The Bonafide could be better for you, whereas the Rustler 10, it really likes a playful skier, an adventurous skier, somebody that's always seeking out soft snow, and it performs really, really well for a skier like that. I think just watching Mike ski it really gives you a sense of how fun the ski is, and I think that's a good way to think about it. Is the Rustler 10 is it's a lot of fun, but you know, keep in mind, don't forget that there is metal in it. So there was a lot of thought and a lot of design that went into this ski. You know, they didn't just throw a wood core in it and give it a ton of rocker and call it good. You know, that directional carbon, the tapered metal underfoot, it all works together to a really cool ski. Supple in the tips and tails, pretty forgiving, but it's all there. It's got that metal. So yeah, brand new this year, Rustler 10, the Rustler 11. We're starting to get into more of a dedicated powder ski over here. This is the longest length in the Rustler 11, which is 116 underfoot. So, you know, a different animal. The Rustler 11, whether you live on the East Coast or the West Coast or anywhere in between, that's probably going to be more of a dedicated powder ski for you, where the Rustler 10 could easily be a daily driver for a lot of skiers out there. You know, I think Mike pretty much skis it every day here in Stowe. I think that maybe that pushes it a little bit, but there's a lot of skiers here in Vermont that ski a ski that's 100 underfoot or more every day. Out west, it can easily be a daily driver, be your everyday all-mountain ski, and you know, it's just super fun, and it really rounds out the line of Blizzard skis nicely. Before there was the Gunsmoke and the Peacemaker and the Regulator, but those skis, the twin tip community loved them. There were a lot of kind of free ride, freestyle, backcountry skiers that really liked them. But I think it left a little bit to be desired for more of a directional skier, and somebody that wanted a little bit more precision out of their skis. it's not, you know, it doesn't feel quite as precise and powerful as a Bonafide, but it's definitely a really cool design, and I think they took their kind of free ride segment to the next level, and blew the old skis out of the water with the Rustler collection. So check them out. Definitely try and get on a pair if you can this year. We're going to try and do a review of the 11 when we get a little bit more snow. Almost could have justified it today up there. But we'll wait until we get a little bit better coverage and can get out there into some more intense terrain and really put it to the test. So yeah, until then, keep checking back. We're going to have a lot more 2018 reviews until we get further into the season. We'll start looking at 2019 skis. But winter's here in Stowe. If it didn't feel like it maybe last week, but gosh, we've had a lot of snow in the past week. So it's here. It's time. So get out there, try Rustler 10 or pick one up if you can. And yeah, we'll see you guys on the slopes.